Happy Wednesday, second grade. Hope you guys are doing good. Okay, now before we begin today's math lesson, we're going to go ahead and start with a prayer like yesterday. So let's close our eyes and bow our heads. Lord, thank you for this day that you've given us. Thank you for this new day that we can come to you, Lord. Thank you that this is a day that we can learn more about you, Lord, and learn all of the things that we need to learn, Lord, and stay nice and safe at home. We ask that you please be with each and every one of the students, Lord, and their families, that you be with us, Lord, that you help us and keep us safe, and that you give us peace in our hearts to know that everything will be okay, Lord. Help us to be able to learn the best way that we can. Help us to try our best, Lord, and open up our minds to take in all the information that we're going to learn today. Thank you for everything you've given us and for all these resources that we have, Lord, to be able to still learn at home. In Jesus' precious name that we pray, amen. Okay, guys, awesome. So we're going to go ahead and begin today's math lesson. Okay, if you don't have your math book with you, go ahead and get your math book. You can pause the video. When you have your math book, you're going to open up to page 765. Okay, 765. Okay, I'm waiting to make sure. Okay, so once you have your math book on page 765, for lesson 11.11, it's problem solving. So this is going to be our word problems. So we're gonna go through this together. Okay, so I want us to look at the top of page 765. Okay, where it has our word problem, and it says there are two sandwiches that are the same size. Each sandwich is divided into fourths, but the sandwiches are cut differently. How might the two sandwiches be cut? Okay, so let's underline those keywords, okay? So I want you to start underlining the keywords I'm going to tell you. Two sandwiches, you're going to underline that. That means you're going to have two shapes. Each sandwich is divided to, you're going to underline divided into fourths. And you're going to underline cut differently. Okay, so notice there in the bottom they have two squares. Those are representing the two sandwiches. Okay, so I'm going to kind of turn this over here towards this board. Okay, so you have your two squares, right? So these represent your two sandwiches. 1, 2. It says that each sandwich is divided into fourths. Okay, so each sandwich is divided into fourths. Okay, divided into fourths. But then look what it says. But they are cut differently. So you have to divide these two shapes into fourths, into 4 equal parts, but in different ways, because these sandwiches, they're cut differently. They're not both cut the same. Okay, so your first one, you can do it as a T, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your second one into fourths, you can do it a different way. So you can do it, in the book, it shows you that you can do it kind of like this. Okay? So that's another way of doing it. You can do it going down, the line's going down, right? Or the line's going across, or like this or like that. Okay, so these are the two sandwiches. 1, 2. They're both cut into fourths, but they're cut differently. And that's exactly what our problem wants. Okay, so this is all you would need to know for this problem. Okay, that's pretty much it. Okay, so it's not too hard. We just have to very carefully read our word problems. Remember to underline those important keywords. So now let's go to page 766. We're going to do this together. Number 1. Now the instructions say draw to show your answer. Number 1 says, Marquise has 2 square sheets of paper. They're the same size. He wants to cut each sheet into halves. What are 2 different ways he can cut the sheets of paper? Okay, so let's underline those keywords. 2 square sheets of paper. Okay, they're the same size, so they're both the same size of squares. They're going to be cut into halves, but 2 different ways. So, okay, so for this problem, it says we have 2 squares that are the same size. So let's go ahead and do 2 squares. They're the same size. Now, I have to draw it out, but your book has it there for you, right? In that box. So 2 squares the same size. And they have to be cut into, they want it cut into halves. I'm writing it there because I can't show you in the book. So they're cut into halves. They're cut differently. So what's one way that I can cut this in half? Well, I can just do like this. That's one way. Now, I want you guys to notice something. I've been noticing in your, in some of your classworks, the ones you guys are turning into me. Some of you, you're doing a great job, but you're getting a little bit messy when you're doing your lines. Guys, try to make it as neat as possible because it needs to be close to equal parts, okay? Now, for this one, another way we can do it in half is just go across. Okay? Now, some of you may say going like this, diagonal, that's okay too. Okay? So this is one way that you can answer it. Okay? Some people may say that you want to go like diagonal. Okay? That's okay too. As long as you have your 2 squares cut into halves. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? 2 equal parts. And they are cut differently in different ways. Okay? So this would be number 1. Okay? Not too hard. Now we're going to go ahead to number 2. Okay, number 2. Number 2 says, let's read it together. Shanice has 2 pieces of cloth that are the same size. She needs to divide each piece into thirds. What are 2 different ways she can divide the pieces of cloth? So let's underline those key words. Okay. 2 pieces of cloth. Okay, divided into thirds. 2 different ways. So, in your book, they have rectangles, 2 rectangles. So let's go ahead and draw. I'm going to draw the 2 rectangles. You don't have to draw it because you have it there for you. I'm going to draw the 2 rectangles. Okay, there we go. Now, it says that they need to be cut into thirds. Okay, cut into thirds in 2 different ways. So, let's see. I'm going to do this one like this. Notice I'm getting a little squiggly there. Try to make it as neat as possible. Okay, that's one way. Then another way. Like that. Okay? So that's one way that you can do it. Okay? Like this and like this. Okay, because you need 2 different ways. Please, guys, I've seen students in the past that they do it the same. No, you guys can't do it the same. Remember, it says that they're cut differently. It has to be different. And remember, when I look at your work, okay, when we get back to school and we take our chapter 11 test, if the parts don't look equal because maybe you did it too messy or you did one line more on one side than the other side, I'm going to have to mark it wrong. Okay? So please be very, very careful. In this chapter, the most important thing is being nice and neat so I can tell, okay, that it's in equal parts. Okay? So we're done with number 2. Now look what I want you to do. You're going to let's go down to number 5. Okay? We're not going to do all of these problems. We're just going to go down to number 5. Okay? So number 5 is a think smarter problem. It says, Aaron has 2 ribbons that are the same size. What are 2 different ways she can divide the ribbons into thirds? Okay, so 2 ribbons the same size. They show you 2 rectangles. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and draw those 2 rectangles. Okay, here we go, those two rectangles. Sorry, let me just turn that for you. Okay, now we have to cut them into thirds. I always like writing it up here just so that that's for myself. Cutting it into thirds 2 different ways. So we can do this one like this. That's one way, right? Then the other way. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now, I have something I want to show you. Some people have a rectangle. Oh, wait, that's a messy one. See, I always like to go back and check my work. Some people have a rectangle or even a square, and they want to do their Y. Okay, guys, that does not work. That is not equal parts. Okay? Okay, or you have your square. And I want to do that. That's also not equal parts. Because these two are the same, right? These two are the same. But this one is not. So this is not. Okay? I just want you guys to know that. This is the only way to do thirds in a rectangle and a square. Either going up and down or side to side. Okay? So I just wanted to make sure that we understood that. So now, let's go to number 7 on page 768. The Go Deeper one, okay? So number 7 on page 768, okay? Give you guys a second. That one says, Mrs. Lee has 2 sandwiches. They are the same size. She cuts each sandwich into halves. How many equal parts does she have in all? So this, they're asking for something different. Okay, I want you to underline the most important. 2 sandwiches, same size, halves, and then what are they asking you? How many equal parts in all? So let's draw it out. So you need to have 2 sandwiches. I'm going to do squares for sandwiches. Because normally sandwiches are maybe like in a square. Or you can even do a rectangle. That's fine as well. Now, it's cut into halves. So let's look at this. Here we have our 2 squares. It's cut into halves. So I'm going to do this one like this. This one like this. And there we go. Notice this line is a little bit crooked. I'm going to make this as neat as I can. Because I always tell you guys to check your work. So I check my work too. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, so it's cut into half. So we have 2 sandwiches, right? 1, 2, yes. They're the same size, right? Yes, good. And they're cut into halves? Yes, good. Now, how many equal parts does she have in all? So you're going to count all of these equal parts. Well, let's see. In all. Okay, not in one, in all. So that means total. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many equal parts are there in all? You should have said that there are 4 equal parts in all. 4 equal parts. Okay? I hope you understood that one. So now look what you guys are going to do. Now you guys are going to do number 8 on your own. Okay, I'm going to give you guys, give yourself about a minute to do it. Pause the video. Complete number 8. When you're ready for us to go over it, go ahead and press play. Okay, so pause it, and then when you're ready for us to go over it, press play. Okay? Okay, you should have paused it. Now, if you're pressing play again, it's because you already went over it. Okay, so make sure, because I want you guys to try this one on your own. Okay, so if you already did it, then let's go over it. If not, press pause and then play it when you're ready. So number 8 is a think smarter problem. So let's see. It says, Emma wants to cut a piece of paper into fourths. Fourths, 4 equal parts. Fill in the bubble next to all the ways she could cut the paper. So you have that first way, the second, the third, and the fourth. I'm going to kind of draw them up here just so you guys can see. So we have our first one over here. Okay, here, I did it for you guys. Okay, so here we have, now I couldn't put them all in one row because it didn't fit here. But you have your first one, your second one, your third, and your fourth. Okay, so which one? Let's see. It says, Emma wants to cut a piece of paper into fourths. Fill in the bubble next to all the ways she could cut the paper. So whenever it says next to all the ways, that means there's more than one answer. And what are we looking for? We're looking that it's divided into fourths. So let's see this first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, perfect. So you would bubble this one in nice and neat. Okay. I'm going to circle it just so you guys can see it. Which one the answer is. Okay. Now let's see this one. 1, 2, 3. No. This is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, but is it equal? Your answer should be no. So this is not it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces, and they're equal. So this is also our answer. Okay? So I want you to take a good look at that. Okay? So you can see. Okay? What your answer should be. Very, very important. Okay? So it's the first one and the fourth one. That last one. Okay? Very, very important. Okay? Perfect. So now I'm going to tell you what your work is for today. So for today, your classwork is going to be to complete pages 769 through 770. Your 2 homework pages. That's your homework for today. Like I've been doing all these days, I'm going to go ahead and post it in the class story for your parents to see and for you guys to be able to see it. Make sure you do number 3. And I'm going to get that question. Make sure you do number 3, guys. That has to be done. Read very carefully for numbers 1 and 2 on page 769. I want you to underline those key words, those important words. They're going to help tell you how you should divide your shape. And that it's going to be divided in 2 different ways. So please make sure you read that. Let's see. Make sure that you remember what angles are. You're going to have a question on angles. Let me just give you a quick reminder what angles are. So if I give you this square, okay, remember your angles are this. Okay, whenever you have a side and another side that meet up, remember in class we did a V with our hands. Whenever that V, okay, that area in the middle right here, that is called an angle. Okay? So this shape has 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. Okay? 4 angles. There's a different with vertices. Remember, vertices is the point. The point. But the angle is that inside part. Okay? Very, very important for you to understand that. Because they're going to ask you about that. Okay? For in your homework, for page 770 on number 4, it says, what is the best estimate for the length of a baseball bat? It's an estimate, guys, so just try your best, okay? Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Okay. I think that's pretty much it for 11.11, okay, guys? So I want you guys to try your best when you're doing your classwork. please make sure that you do all of those lines nice and equal parts, okay, into equal parts and as neat as you can so that I can understand it. Also, guys, make sure that you're writing your names at the top of all your homework pages or any of your assignments. So when I'm check marking to give you guys your grades, I can see the name at the top. Okay. Parent Class Dojo it's working, but the messages they're not notifying me when messages come in, and kind of like a text message that it opens up on its own. So then you don't know which one you already checked. So I'm being very diligent in checking all of them carefully. If I don't reply, please make sure that I reply to you that I received your child's assignments. So if you can try to send me all the assignments at the same time and then give me a few minutes up to an hour to reply to you. I'm going to be replying be around like before 5, before 6. If you submit it to me after that, that's okay. I'm going to reply the next day. But please make sure that I do reply that I'm receiving your child's assignments because I'm checking off names and grades. But Class Dojo is, I guess there's a lot of teachers using it all over the country. It's a little crazy. So just please make sure. I'm going to repeat that in Spanish. Para los padres que hablan español, Class Dojo no me está enseñando las notificaciones. En vez de enseñarme las notificaciones, lo que está haciendo que se te abre, es como un mensaje de texto que se te abre, entonces uno no sabe cuál ya uno revisó o no. So, por favor, si me pueden hacer el favor que cuando me manden el trabajo del estudiante, de tu hijo o hija, ese día, que me mande todos los trabajos juntos. So, en vez de mandarme un trabajo por aquí, otro por ahí, que me mande todo junto. Y si yo no les respondo que lo recibí, que se ve bien, perfecto, gracias. Si no respondo en más o menos como una hora, mándamelo, me pueden mandar un mensaje. Ya lo viste, ya lo chequeé, ya, porque como no me están entrando notificaciones, estoy chequeando todo lo mejor que puedo, pero puede ser que se me va uno, ¿ok? Entonces, nada más con su ayuda, sí necesito su ayuda con eso. Muchas gracias a todos los padres. Thank you to all the parents. I know that you guys are kind of homeschooling your children. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. We're trying to see what the best thing is. I know that we're all listening to the news and hearing different things, but let's not panic or worry. We're going to make this as easy as we can and as simple as we can for you guys, and to make sure that your children still get the best education that we can give them. So thank you. Para todos los padres, yo sé que estamos mirando las noticias y hay muchos que dicen que esto se va a demorar, pero estamos trabajando lo mejor que podemos. Vamos a hacer las cosas lo más simple que podemos para poder todavía darle a sus hijos la educación que necesitan. Gracias por su paciencia y por su ayuda. Okay, thank you guys. I'm going to be sending all the work on Class Dojo through the class story. Please make sure you're doing your Bible devotionals, guys. Please make sure you're doing those devotionals and you're listening to the songs. Okay, that's going to be part of your homework, of your daily assignments, okay? Today, parents, just to give you a quick answer, my students, you guys are going to have you're going to have a math assignment. You're going to have a Bible assignment, language arts assignment, social studies assignment, and of course your RAS kids, okay? But don't panic. It's not going to be too much. We're trying to make this as simple as possible, okay? Thank you guys. Have a good Wednesday, okay? Any questions, you guys can message me.